And now we're ready to transition to our Tabletopics contest. And so I will invite the coordinator for that portion of our contest today, Ms. Laura Lee Bailey.
Well, thank you. This is a new section, and the Tabletopics portion of this contest is going to be a little bit different than the way we've done Tabletopics in the past. Again, just like in the international contest, the contestants that were not participating were not in the room. And that makes it a lot nicer so that you don't have to get nervous by listening to everybody else. So we will bring you in one at a time as it is your turn. But in order to determine the order, we have to have a drawing in terms of the order. So let's see, we've got Cindy Caldwell. Let's see. Lisa. On. So, for our judges, if you will, who has number 1? Cindy Caldwell will be number 1. Number 2, Lon, number 2. Number 3, Lisa, number 3. And number 4 will be Tom. Where are you? Okay. So in that case, if everyone that is not going to be speaking next will exit with Amy. So our speakers, just so you'll know, is Lisa Barnett. Well, I'm sorry, let me go back. Cindy Caldwell is number 1. Number 2 is Lon Hannah. Number 3 is Lisa Barnett. And number 4 is Tom Baker. Our Tabletopic speaker will have 1 to 2 minutes. She qualifies at 1 minute and is disqualified at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, Cindy Caldwell, come join us. About the Tabletopics as compared to the other opportunities during the normal week is that every contestant is given the same question. So, Cindy, can you describe a time in your life that you thought was bad or particularly difficult, but turned out to be something good in retrospect? Please share how this circumstance Please share how this circumstance or turn of events has shaped your life.
Thank you, Madam Tabletopics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. This is a hard conversation to have, but some of you know that recently my mother passed away right before Thanksgiving. And wow, that was really hard. It's always hard to lose a parent. And especially in our family, we're very close. And it's also hard to find good out of losing a parent. But some of you also know that part of what I do as my profession is to counsel families regarding their loved ones and seniors and how to move through the process of placing them in assisted living care. So while I thought I was really great at my job, I realized after that experience that I'd never had the chance really to sit on the other side of the desk and feel the feelings that they were feeling as they were letting their loved ones move through the process of passing on or passing into skilled care or assisted care. So for the first time, I was able to sit in that room and really hear what they had to say and then compassionately understand what it meant to make those decisions for your loved one. So while I truly miss my mom, I really feel that throughout her life, she continued to teach me. But even in ending her life, she taught me as well. So So I hope that I'm doing her proud and making her feel good about the fact that I'm helping others move through this stage of their life.
At this time, we'll just wait 1 minute or so for our judges to complete their ballot. Okay, we'll move on. Our next speaker is Lon Hannah. And Lon, this is your question. Can you describe a time in your life that you thought was bad or particularly difficult, but turned out to be something good in retrospect? Please share how this circumstance or turn of events has shaped your life.
I think a time that seemed to be the toughest in my life really turned out to be the thing that has propelled me to the me that I am. I grew up in the projects in Detroit, Michigan. I was born in 1942, 40, I don't know how old I was born in 1940. And my mother was abandoned by my father, along with me and my 6 siblings. She was 23 years old, no education, no job, no skills, but she was a trooper, and she pledged that she would never marry again until the last child left the house. I was small of stature, but I was cocky and strong, and I was a fighter. I was a fighter until I was 32 years old and met the Lord. And I knocked out cold big men, 6 feet tall, but I had a good straight right hand. My older brother, when he got in a scrape, he would come get me to take up for him. He was 3 years older than me. But developing this toughness, I had a can-do attitude. And whether you say you can or whether you say you cannot, you're right. And that can-do attitude has brought me great success in life because I wasn't afraid to take on ventures. And today, I'm satisfied. At the age of 71, I'm satisfied with the life that I've lived.
Again, we'll wait 1 minute for our judges to complete their ballots.
fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. Believe it or not, the event that I thought wasn't going to be so good was when I heard that I was going to start a Toastmasters club. I had agreed to this because of the underlying aspect that I needed to work with Nicole Greer in order to show how well we can work together to learn each other, because we were going to venture into something bigger. We were looking to start a Christian chamber, and in order to do that, we needed to be able to work well together. And so when she said, well, let's do the Toastmasters, because that's what we had originally spoke of, I was like, really? I don't even know what that is. So I said yes. I went and I prayed to God. I said, Lord, what would you have me do? I decided to follow the step, and because I took that step of faith and went to the first Toastmasters Club to see what it's all about, it was just life-changing. And each step that I took in this process has become eye-opening and showed me now I have a future, not in speaking, but in speaking in front of people. I've taken a venture doing Holy Fitness, and where I'm speaking in front of people and I'm leading them, and that is something that I would never have dreamed of doing outside of this Toastmasters. Thank you.
All right, we'll take one more minute for the judges. Our next and final Tabletopics speaker is Mr. Tom Baker. All right. Tom?
Yes.
Can you describe a time in your life that you thought was bad or particularly difficult that turned out to be something good in retrospect? Please share how this circumstance or turn of events has shaped your life.
I've kind of come to think that every difficult circumstance in my life is meant for my good. Because I think that's, when I think about Romans 8:28 and how God makes all things work together for our good, but I think probably the most difficult circumstance occurred about 2 years ago. When I first moved to Charlotte, I formed a partnership, a business partnership with a gentleman who was an expert in the industry that I was wanting to participate in and wanting to take my business in, and I thought that would be good for my clients. Didn't turn out that way. He just didn't do what he said he would do. There were some financial situations that occurred. There was a lot of nastiness. And it occurred to me about 2 years ago that enough was enough. And it was time to move on. So I took the steps to get out of the partnership. At the time, that devastated me financially. It devastated the business. He took about half my client base. Since then, however, I've not only rebuilt my client base, but I've also added new clients. I've brought new people into the business, and my life has improved dramatically. All of that, I think, is due to the fact that I never lost my faith. I never lost my belief that God would make this somehow work together for my good. And I can say with all candor and with such humility right now that I don't feel that I've ever been better poised to have the kind of future that I want and the kind of future that allows me to help others by glorifying God and really do the things in my life that I've always set out to do than right now. I could not have seen that 2 years ago, but I've never lost my faith, and that's what got me